Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Information Technology and General Services Committee meeting for Tuesday, December 11th. And I am joined by my colleague, Councilmember Blumenfield. I know Mr. O'Farrell is en route, so we will go ahead and get started. Do we have any general public comment cards? No, we have no speaker cards, so general public comment is closed. And perfect. And we have Mr. O'Farrell as well. So, colleagues, I'd like to take items 1 through 4 and 6 through 11 on consent, if there's no objection.
That's fine. Okay.
Is that fine? 1 through 4 and 6 through 11 on consent. Without objection, that'll be the order. So for the mass exodus, you're welcome. And that'll bring us to item number 5, please.
Item number 5, motion Rodriguez Buscaino, an MFC report relative to instructing the GSD with the assistance of the City Administrative Officer and City Attorney to negotiate and execute a master lease or license agreement with Konkui Design Initiative, a nonprofit design and community development organization, to implement the Adopt a Lot pilot program, in which KDI will administer temporary uses of up to 10 vacant lots to serve the residents of the city for a term of 18 months with 0 rent and 2 6-month options to extend the contract term.
Thank you. And just to quickly frame it, colleagues, I know this is an issue that many of us struggle with in our districts, where we face a number of vacant lots that become nuisance properties to the extent that there's illegal dumping, encampments, and whatnot. I want to thank GSD and Konkui Design Initiative and Free Lots Los Angeles, as well as the Mayor's Office and the CAO's Office, for working with my office to working to implement this exciting new project that will take those what have been eyesores in many of our communities are now going to become opportunities for open space, and thank you so much for being here.
Hi, Mike Mendoza, GSD Real Estate. Good afternoon. As mentioned before, she kind of stole my thunder here. The Adopt a Lot pilot program is a nonprofit. Is a pilot program with a nonprofit, Konkui Design Initiative. I just want to recognize that some members from Konkui Design Initiative is present today, and if you have any questions for them, we can call them up to the table. It is a pilot program to activate 10 vacant city-owned lots for a community program for a short-term period of 18 months. The nonprofit will work with city offices to bring vacant lots. They will work with city offices to develop a community program for each vacant lot, and once that is identified, they'll bring that particular vacant lot back to MFC for approval to activate it for community programming. Some of the benefits are obviously turning these vacant lots into productive and community assets, and enhancing the quality of life in the neighborhood. So if you have any questions, I'll take them at this time.
Thank you. I actually do want to go ahead and start with one question. Can you walk us through the process of how the lots would be selected?
So as I said, it's going to be up to 10 city-owned vacant lots, and we have already identified 6 of those 10 lots. And I believe your office is already working on some community program and working with KDI on the next step. So as they move down the list and they get past the 6th lot and move on to another potential lot with another city office, they'll engage the community, engage the city office on the type of program they'd like to implement, and once they decide on that program, they'll bring it back to MFC for approval to activate the lot.
And actually, as you mentioned, we are in the... Oh,
I'm sorry. About the structure, I just want to get into the structure a little bit. So it is a master license with KDI, and they would sub-license to another nonprofit or community organization to facilitate the community program within that particular lot.
Thank you. I know the lot on that we're doing, as you mentioned, I do have one that we're currently in the process of programming in CD7 on Tupper Street, is going to be one of the first to move through. How soon does that sublicense come back to, what's the kind of the timeline of it coming back to MFC?
It's per the MFC schedule, so if you identify, if we, I think this item's going to be on council tomorrow also, so,
Oh, this is, okay. That was the master light, okay.
yeah, the master light, so assuming it's approved, you can, at the next MFC, if we can get it on the agenda, et cetera, then I believe we can bring it forward.
Okay.
So we run a 30-day cycle with the MFC, obviously. So if in fact we were to identify a new lot that wanted to be added to the license agreement, this master license agreement will allow us to cut the time frame. We don't have to go through the ITGS and council process. So normally that's about 4 months. What this will allow us to do is add or delete lots to the master license agreement, subject to approval by the MFC. So that usually runs on a 30-day cycle. So say if it were mid-January, we identified a lot. The following February, we could bring it back to MFC. And in the meantime, we'll work concurrently on working with the nonprofit to, kind of activate and do the outreach. So
Terrific. Colleagues, did you have any questions?
Not a question, just a comment. I really want to applaud the chairwoman for introducing this motion. You know, at the end of the day, it's good uses drive out the bad uses, and people complain about activities happening on some of these vacant lots. Well, this is such a positive and proactive way to deal with that I just wanted to applaud it. I support 110% if that's possible, and just wanted to add those 2 cents.
I
Thank you.
appreciate that. Thank you. Mr. Farrell?
I think it's a great initiative as well, and so these community uses could be pocket parks or community gardens or children's play areas or whatever the community, comes up with. Could these leases be extended beyond the 18 months? What would that require? Say if someone says, we want a community garden here.
Right, so this is a pilot program, and during that pilot program, we're obviously all going to be discussing what's worked, what hasn't worked. If in fact there is a particular use that's been identified for a vacant lot, and the council office of that district would like to take a look at having that nonprofit manage that lot on, a longer-term basis, then they would initiate a motion to do that. And then it would become a longer-term lease.
Sounds great.
Great. And just in terms of like the disposition at a time when we might separate with the active use, is there a kind of defined condition that we must receive the property back?
Yeah, we have provided ourselves with obviously a 30-day notice at the city's sole discretion. And that really comes about because, say, for example, there was another city initiative that identified that vacant lot as either for sale or for some other city identified use. We would want the flexibility under this particular master license agreement with a 30-day notice to say, we're no longer going to be able to offer this lot, but ostensibly we would also then take a look at another location that might work.
Terrific. Well, I don't have any additional questions, and so seeing none, I'd like to recommend that we approve the motion and the MFC's recommendation to authorize GST to execute a master license agreement with KDI. And without objection, that'll be the order. Thank you very much. And so have we cleared the desk?
That clears the desk.
The meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much.
There we go.
All right.